Hi, Alan Stratton from woodturning. With the Ornament Challenge coming up, if you're stuck, it's a good idea to go back to past years and see what inspires you. Find something that you kind of like and put your own spin on it. So that's the case with this one. This is a small ornament, pigtail type, braided wire hanger, and then you could also turn it into a straight finial. So this is double duty, ornament and practice for a weird finial. So let's turn it. I started by mounting a piece of birch. However, when it was round, I saw a couple of nasty checks. It will never survive this project. So I switched to a 6-inch piece of an old table leg. I think it is older than I am, so I think it should be dry. Look, Mom, no cracks. My bow gouge is sufficient for this piece, and I have it already near my lathe. Other than a round piece of wood, I need a tenon to fit my long-nosed chuck jaws. My skew does the final trimming. With the wood reversed, I can refine it a bit more. I want it a bit more than 1 inch diameter. Now to bore a 3/4 inch hole with a Forstner bit. But a Forstner bit leaves a square bottom and a nasty center divot. I found an old spade bit and ground off the point into a curve. It did not take much to drill out the center hole, making it round. Then a bit more trimming with the skew. Now to refine my flame. I mark the quadrants using the gap in the chuck jaws to capture the tool rest while I mark it. Also some marks around the wood. Sanding the interior seems like a good idea to remove any ridges from the drilling. I lay out a flame shape and am about to start carving, but then have second thoughts about the same, and then have third thoughts. Sandpaper works as an eraser. Finally, I can start carving out the flame shape. Blackening the area to keep helps keep me carving the right area. And finish shaping with a 80 grit sandpaper. The wood is fragile. I considered soaking it with CA glue, better yet, stabilize the wood. But that takes a bit more planning and preparation. As is, I stabilize the thin wood with a finger pressure. But that is enough this time. The base looks rather blocky. Despite the fragile flame, the base is solid enough to round off the base and form a bead. Despite my indecision, it works out great. For this size project, I think shellac will do fine. Now for a loop for hanging the flame. For a tree ornament, it will be a bit weird, but okay. I pinch a 3 to 4 inch piece of 22 gauge wire in the long nose chuck. It was convenient while I twist the wire to form a thicker wire with more character. But I need a loop. Another convenient mount is my Jacob's chuck with a small diameter transfer punch. A drill would work equally well, especially if reversed with the point inside. A few twists and I can glue it into the flame ornament. That completes my flame finial, in this case a flame ornament. It is an interesting exercise. Later I could use it in another project as an upright finial. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my website as well as on YouTube. When you subscribe to my website, my notifications are much more reliable than YouTube's. Please tell your friends about my weekly videos. I appreciate your comments and questions. Please wear your full face shield whenever the lathe is running. As usual, yeah, I'm nagging. It's worth it.